Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Storms over Cerenar Session 6. And this title of this session is called The Jaws of Defeat. And you have just, our intrepid heroes here, have just fought back their enemies at insurmountable odds, and they have snapped victory from the Jaws of Defeat. And we find them scattered in the area around the ship there, the Slavers River Barge. It is covered in the crumbled up bodies of the deckhands, and the one slightly glowing white hot ring of mind shielding that the Illithid captain stole and now has retracted his mind into. Safis, you see your mentor, Salton Noxorius, or Norixorus, the Black Dragonborn Ranger, who has taught you much of your craft. As he's walking towards you, he's wiping the blood of this assassin on his trouser legs, and he sheathes his hand axe as he approaches you. What does Saphis do in this situation?
Saphis would take a moment to stow his weapons, kind of glance over his shoulder, looking at the burning boat, looking at his other compatriots, seeing, does it look like Oust is going to be treated soon by his other allies?
You see Nongol running towards Oust.
Then in that case, Saphis would move to greet Seldin.
Selden, when was the last time you saw him?
Years ago, 2 or 3.
He doesn't seem like he has aged much. A few new scars adorn him, a few more dents in the armor. He looks as serious as always, and as stoic as he approaches you. Where an old friend would normally embrace you, he just nods towards you. Are you okay?
Saphis kind of just nods quietly. Saphis is fine, and you, Seldin, it has been a long time.
It has. I'm not down. He looks at you in the eye. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. And he kind of takes gathers courage as he says, "Rain and Summer, they have her. I can't get her out alone."
Saphis kind of just stands there for a moment. How? Why?
I returned from a job close to the lost fold of Balboldir. When I returned, I visited your parents, as I always do. And she was sent out to get the pastries that your parents always give me. She did not return. And he kind of subconsciously kind of touches one of the scars around his neck. And then takes the hand away. So he says, "I was not strong enough to get her back myself."
Saphis would like to know where she's being held. And again, looking back towards the burning boats, but kind of split between, should I be helping with this very clear immediate emergency, or should I be worrying about this? Choosing now for a moment to continue to focus on Saldin. Saifis, where is she being held?
Rathajar. She is. There's many children going missing. It is the Heninu Trade Association is in the middle of this. You know what they're planning. But we need to go there. We need to get her back. We need to stop this.
Saifis does agree wholeheartedly, but first Saifis must deal with this. He says, motioning towards the burning boat. This is one of their ships filled to the brim with children, men and women, and it was guarded by I do not know what they are called, a creature capable of manipulating minds and destructive forces. These Tinkari are aligned with them, it seems, some cult. He says, the word kind of dripping a little bit. Savis does not understand fully, but for now, Savis thinks we should deal with this. And Savis will introduce you to some characters and some interesting characters he has met recently that might be able to help. One he thinks would definitely help, another would likely help, and the other two he is unsure.
Saphis keeps eye contact as you look at him and say this. And instead of answering, he just nods, and you can hear like air going out of his nostrils as he begins to help.
All right. So yeah, Cephas, because he's capable of doing this, will fly back over to his compatriots, starting with those on the boat, and will just inform Bjorn and Leon. Safis would like to warn you there is a large dragonborn coming now. He is a friend of Safis's. He is here to help, despite his appearance. Safis thinks we should start getting people out from under this burning ship, yes? Bjorn? Bjorn, do you have the way to douse these flames with that cold of yours?
In the
I can
meantime,
certainly try.
Just figure out what happens as you talk to Saldin. You you feel the burning sensation of the poison into your wounded limbs. As the sun-blasted desert around you goes away in like a blurry kind of sea of darkness as you are suspended, weightless, just feeling yourself in for what seems like an eternity, just feeling weightless. And then you hear it, the heartbeats, big, strong. And you see, as you open your eyes, this big pulsating mass of dark green energy. Even though it does not have a face, you feel it watching you, looking at you. As it says, "You fought well, my child. But it shall not be your time yet. We keep your soul away from the realm of Hades." How? Is your mind not falling apart? I wonder. Does Oust react to any of this? Say anything?
I'd imagine, considering the past few minutes, as it probably is, just minutes still, that we've just gone through, and everything, I'd imagine he just kind of sort of floats. essentially, and just takes it all in, but doesn't really reply.
What is
Kind
his
of-
like mental reaction? Does he have any thoughts or any feelings?
I'd imagine there's kind of there's a sense of peculiarity in that. I don't think he was under the assumption that he was at any risk from from the, in terms of the state of his own mind from this entity. So hearing this is like, okay, that's interesting, but duly noted.
You can feel the heartbeat again, like sending waves through you. Do you know, child, there is a big difference between fate, destiny.
I'd imagine one is made and one is given.
Exactly. So, what are you going to choose?
I prefer to make my own luck.
Excellent.
But I'm sure you can guide me where you can.
You can hear the heartbeat growing quicker, like the interval shortening. I will guide you where I can. But a lot of my energy is being used to just keep existing. Lock the veil of ignorance. You shall see as we will all awake from this slumber. And as the heartbeats kind of continue and quicken, they slowly are changed out from Nongle just kind of I guess you're like Nongle, you're just like kind of pulling in him, trying to get him back on his feet, right?
Bandaging him.
Bandaging. You're like you can feel all of these heartbeats get like changed out with the feeling of Nongle kind of tugging in your body, and you come back into.
Also, I'd imagine that Nongle also sees that there are quite a few like pronounced veins, especially in my arms and around my neck, that are slightly more green than they should be.
Precisely.
Slow.
All right, Oust, you come back to.
Fantastic.
Nongle, do you say anything? Oust, do you say anything?
He said, "Well, much appreciated. It's becoming a bit of a habit. Can't say I'm a fan of that."
Apparently, there's a black dragon that is our friend, and the ship's on fire. We need to get the people out. So, are you up to it?
I think I'm probably in the same position as you at this point. I'm not exactly out for the count, but getting down there might be a bit of an issue.
Yes, of course.
Nongle, you have a lot of fucking water inside your bag of holding.
Oh, a whole fucking ton of it. I can't do anything with it though.
Could also just like take out the cork.
You can also just turn the bag inside out.
That's correct. That sounds fun.
I don't want to do that.
That's fine. I would just say that is something that you could do. All right. Bjorn, you see?
well-
Yeah, sorry, Oust. I didn't want
I
to.
was going to say if we get the water out, then I do have a way of sort of at least mildly remotely depositing some of it, albeit in small amounts at a time.
Well, the ship is surrounded by water. If you need water, it's all there.
True.
I'll summon Nibbles.
You
Then-
summon Nibbles.
Yeah, I'll toss him into the water.
You just toss him in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. And he just floats into the water. And yeah, he'll start splashing. And then I'll sit down and start to cast Unseen Servant.
Oh, sorry.
It's going to take me 10 minutes, but I'll see if Kevin can help as well.
Sure. Nibbles is just bubbling around the water.
Okay.
Bjorn, you're standing, the ring in front of you, white hot, kind of burning itself into the deck in front of you as it cools off. You see the flames around you kind of doused a bit by the eternal wreath of winter around you, as you see Theus kind of get the focus in his eyes back as he's no longer stunned. You have this black, very dark purple blood running from your axe as you're standing.
So the corpse it went in through and is
Was
no longer
sucked
there.
into the
It's
ring.
not just okay. So there's nothing materialized corpse. It disappeared.
Yeah, think like Jafar in the end of Aladdin, where he just gets sucked into the black lamp. That's basically what happens.
Cool. Yeah. I would like to pick up the ring and walk towards the most flaming part of the ship.
Sure.
To try to dose the flames down.
All right. So you start just walking around with the ring in your hand. And you have kind of just walking around to douse the flames with your coal. Theus, what do you do as you see Bjorn pick up the ring?
The first thing I will do is look for the girl. Run down, look for the girl, look for the prisoners.
Without saying a word, you get to your feet, run down. And down there you see her helping the children. She has picked the lock of the hold, and she's kind of trying to keep all the children calm in the end of the ship, away from where you can see blackened spots of fire just starting to get through in the roof above you. The man seems like he has been bandaged, and his son is kind of sitting with him. And she looks at you. Is it done?
It's over. And first of all, thank you. You've done a good thing. What's your name? I was too stressed to ask about that. What's your name?
She looks sullen. Is Crucis, is he gone?
He's gone. You don't have to have any fear anymore that anybody will hurt you. We'll make sure that everyone, and you, these children, this man, and you included, will make it out safe here. And we will look for something where you can be safe.
Why do you... She looks at you with a mixture of fear and hope. As she says, how did you know all that?
You shouldn't ask too much in the past. The things in the past, they are sometimes strange.
Now you're just sounding like them.
I'm not like them. And I know what they do. And they are bad. I know that. And so it's best...
Yeah, go ahead.
And so it's best if we can move away from that. Move you away from that.
To where?
We will find out. Just don't talk about that.
If you know what they do, you know that I have nowhere else to go.
We will make a place. Don't worry. I have a place. I know it's safe there.
She looks at you with like, you can see tears forming in her eyes, but her body like tensing, her muscles kind of, she is coiled inside as she looks at you and says, so I'm just supposed to trust you, or what? Now, after all of this?
Well...
How do I know this is not just a trick? Another thing that they do to figure out if I'm loyal? How do I know this is not death disguised? Was that it? Did I pass the test? Is that it?
Girl, I see the same eyes in you that I went through. And I have gone to think horrible things. You might say that you have gone through a lot of horrible things. And I can actually say that I understand you. I have some problems. And the best way to move on from that is get somewhere safe and to show you that I really mean it. That there's no trick behind it. That there is no lies behind what I'm saying it. You do know some of the rules that they have among them.
Yes.
Some rules that they shouldn't be broken. No circumstances.
She looks a bit confused at you. She's not quite following what you're trying to say.
Within the organization, you shall not. You live in your own little bubble there, not knowing who you are speaking to, or not even how far you have to go to follow the orders above you, or how far the orders below you follow. So you don't often know who's at the top. I know them.
You know the Dark Initials? Or him?
I know him. And I know that there's a rule that he is not to be spoken, that he is the face. I know his true name.
What is it then?
I will whisper it into her ears.
As you whisper the name into her ear, you can see her shoulders like stop tensing as she takes a sharp intake of air, knowing what you're saying can only be true. She looks at you a bit less confrontational, as she says. So what, I can't just talk about what happened, I just have to bury it up inside like they told me to do with my feelings all those years. Is that it?
No, you can now let your feelings be free. Be a child, not suppress them anymore. You just have to do it somewhere else, not here. In another place where you can be free. Where you can be a child. You can grow up and be better. Not
She
end
looks
like
at
this.
Like, decides you up, and she looks you dead in the eye as she says, "You know, there's no such thing as childhood for the likes of us."
If you don't believe it, how can it ever be?
Give me an insight check, Matthias. 17. Okay. This girl is deeply traumatized of what the face has done to her. And you know that it will take more to find out a way to get her to trust again, to feel again, to not feel like she is somehow unreal again.
I understand that. What you're going through. And the best way is, first of all, to get as far away as possible. Not here. Not now. I'm not telling you that you should get yourself together, because I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is.
She nods. And you know that at where she is right now, that's what she can give you. As she then looks at the children behind her, like they're taking them all to Staunch Flow.
They won't.
He's making some kind of ritual. There's already hundreds there. I don't know. We have to stop them.
It's okay. We will stop them, but you don't need to worry about that. You've done enough.
She looks at you.
You have a good heart. You are better than them. You showed it.
You don't get to decide when I forgive myself.
You don't have to do
Alright.
it now.
And she looks behind her and she says, all right, come on. And like the children starts to like slowly go forth, and one of them kind of looks at you and says, what happened to all the bad men?
Well, they got what every Batman in the end got. They lost, and now they're gone. And this happens with every Batman. So, so this may this be a lesson for you. Batman, in the end, always lose.
There's a
That's good,
very,
guys.
very young girl looks, do you know where my mommy is?
We will find her, don't worry. First of all, get all together here. We'll see what we can do. My friends, we'll keep you safe, don't worry.
As the children get a bit more, strongest feeling of security, you
Okay,
get
I will
overwhelmed
also
with a
do
lot
the
of
joke.
questions. Yeah.
Okay, I will also do a joke and put googly eyes on my hand again and do the thumb motion. Okay, everyone, please stay calm. We will get you all to safety, and then we can laugh again. Meanwhile, let me tell you a joke.
Go ahead and give me a performance check.
Okay, performance. Not that bad.
You
I
see
don't
the
have any
children. You see the children kind of laughing, but it's a very kind of suppressed mood inside, as you know that there's nothing you can say right now that's going to change the fact that what they have been through the last couple of days, weeks, whatever. But they feel some relief. You have convinced them that they are not in danger anymore.
Also, I did a very bad joke. Actually, looking through it, I did. Okay, I had a very bad joke for them. This is why they didn't laugh. I said, "Knock, knock. Who's there? Interrupting cow. Interrupting cow.
Interrupting
Moo!"
That's the worst. Tanner
So bad
laughed
it's
because
good.
he's a dad. All right.
so bad it's great. Yeah, dad jokes get me every time.
Every time. The dad creed. As the children get out, you see the young girl kind of help the bruised man on his feet. On the way out up the stairs, she looks at you. Vega continues up.
While
Giving
she
her name.
continues up, I shout after her, "It's a good name. Not for a bad guy. For someone who has a bright future ahead."
All right. Bjorn, you have been walking around trying to douse the flames. Has anyone else tried to do anything with the deck of the ship? I won't say that 10 minutes have passed yet, Tanner.
All right. Well, Bjorn, you have a magical chicken to help you, so.
Yeah.
What? Don't eat me!
Saphis, do you have any things to do, or?
Honestly, Subfist, having learned that neither Bjorn nor the person he identifies as being the prominent wizard of the group have some way to immediately deal with this fire, would probably be going under deck to start evacuating people. And like, if he goes down below deck and he sees Theon, or I keep mixing your real name with your character's name, Theus, with these people, he'll just kind of, move past, asking like as he goes if there's anybody left below deck anywhere. So
You arrive at the kind of you have to like get down, fly to the ship, and then get around into. You arrive at that point where Theus is trying to getting all the children out. So there's just like a bunch of like maybe 20, 15 kids trying to get out of the hold of the ship as you get eye contact with Theus across the staircase kind of thing.
Yes. Are there any others?
I got all. Let's get out.
Fair enough. Cephis will then go below deck. And saying that out loud, Cephis will then go below deck and begin searching for anybody else that Theus might have missed, or that was hiding, or anything. Basically just anything.
Alright. Oust, what are you doing with your 1 hit point left?
Precisely what a person with 1 hit point should be doing. Not a lot right now. There's a possibility that I may be able to, if we have some water at our end, sort of mage hand it over the boat and drop it onto there. But I don't know if it's going to be a sort of, a winning technique, to be honest, in terms of putting out the fire. So if not, I am probably just sort of sat down and just kind of,
So
catch my breath.
I think, Cephis is a high-level ranger. I don't think they have any spells that he can actually use to do this. He has water breathing and wind wall, and
I actually
walk.
only have 2 levels in Ranger. I'm 8 levels in Rogue.
but Saldin has a lot of levels in ranger.
Saldin. I'm sorry, I thought you said Cephis. My bad.
Would Saldin have anything he could use to do this?
I imagine most of Saldin's spells have to do with tracking, stealth, and personal survival.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think he would have control water. At least he wouldn't have it prepared like in the desert. That's something he would prepare if he was trekking.
At least I assume you would know that I have a bag of holding full of water that you could just come up and get.
That's true, but Cephis is below deck worrying about evacuating people below deck because he is under the assumption at this point that there was very little they can do to save the ship, so he's prioritizing people.
The fire is going, but it's not so bad with Bjorn trying to mitigate it. So you have, I would say, maybe 1 or 2 minutes before the ship is going to be lost to fire. You're not going to have a problem evacuating the kids away, as it seems right now.
So, does Cephis have to roll any checks to see if there's anybody else on any lower decks or hiding?
Because you are in a hurry and you don't want to stay in the ship if it's going to burn. Give me an investigation check, and we'll figure out what you find down there.
All right. There it is. There it is. That is a 19 total.
As you go down in the low belly hold of the ship, you find a room with a weird black chitinous pod. Next to it, you see the corpse of a man, a hole in the front of his head, where something has broken through and devoured the brain inside. You find no personal belongings, nothing else, no clothing, nothing, just a chitinous pod with some things in. You find a small amount of cargo, like food, a bit of water here and there, but nothing, nothing kind of alludes to anything. There's no more people in the ship.
Okay.
Not in the hold, or not in the lower cargo deck.
All right. Then realizing that Cephis will take, a few seconds to stuff as many water skins or small casks of water into his bag of holding as he can, and then we'll just leave because they're gonna need that water soon enough.
Right. As you leave the ship, then. Theus, you're getting the children over on the Nomad Levitator, I guess.
Oh, Cephis
yes.
will actually help with that, flying over one child at a time, because he can just carry them with his flying speed as well.
Bjorn, what are you doing? Bjorn?
You're muted.
You're muted, my friend.
I'm muted. Hey.
As the children come out.
So, yeah. if I see the ship is lost to fire, I'm gonna shield the
If you
children.
don't do anything within
as-
the next couple of minutes, then no. If you don't find a way to put it out.
There's nothing on the deck of the ship besides what we are shown, right?
There's a couple of ropes and the sails, of course, above. But yeah, it's a pretty tight ship. I got a few kind of brooms and mops as well. Nothing I missed. Like what you would find
It's
on the deck of a ship. Yeah.
Okay.
I made this map in 5 minutes.
just
So.
yeah. If is it the sails that are the problem, or is it like the ship is on fire, yo?
You like right now the deck is on fire. If the fire catches the sails, this will go up real quickly. You know this because you are proficient in sea vehicles. You need to keep it away from if it's just on the top deck, it's not a big issue. If it gets through that or away from that, it will spread real quickly.
Could I cut off the sails? Let them blow away.
You could probably pull the sails up so they will be further away from the fire.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
All right.
I have no creative solutions towards using water, so that's my only.
That is
thing.
fine. That is buys you some time. All right. Who else is acting? Noggle, are you still trying to cast that, or will you stop and do something else? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'll still cast it. I'll get Nibbles to, I don't know, shake water on. I don't know what the fucking chicken's gonna do to put out a fire.
All right. The chicken is trying to shake water close to it.
Oh yeah, he was just gonna give the help action to Bjorn.
Bjorn, you're
Great.
It's much easier to get down to put up the sails.
With the chicken helping.
Yeah. Will anyone do anything else, or will just get the kids off? Or do you have? Does anyone have any idea about how they will try to save the ship? Otherwise,
I believe at this point we are pretty committed to the ship just burning.
perfect.
Well, the idea was to take the ship.
To do anything else,
right?
Yeah.
Because we broke the levitator, so.
No, the levitator actually, because they didn't ram the levitator because we
just parked it down there.
Yeah, so he stopped the ship way before.
Okay.
So the Nomad levitator is fine actually right now.
Yeah, but there's not enough. We can't carry all those people.
Sure, but we also have no way to stop a raging inferno in the sails of a ship.
We can carry them as
we
far.
We have like 50 liters of water inside of my bag. I mean, start tossing it on.
Yeah, but it's a ship.
But we're also surrounded by water.
This is a freshwater river, I would say as well.
Yeah, just start dumping water all over the place.
Yeah, but like
how easy? Well, there's got to be buckets on
there has to be buckets or barrels or something, right? I mean, grab a rope and a barrel and start having Bjorn haul up fucking kegs and tossing.
All right, Nongo, because you're the brains of the outfit, okay? You have a big sausage of water, right?
A huge
like sausage made of kind of, I don't know, what was it, hide, right?
Yeah.
It's holding many liters of water because of your fabricate spell.
I basically have a contained fire hose.
Yeah, you have a contained fire hose. No, but you have a guy with flying shoes on. But you could give him the bag of holding, and he could use it as a fire hose flying up above it.
Sure.
But I think Nongo would have to communicate this to Cephis.
Yeah, Cephis!
Cephis is busy. He's moving the children, unless if he is done with that, in which case he will go over to Nargle.
Hurry up! All right. We have so much water inside this bag. We have a large tube of it that's quite long. If you just uncork the tube, you should have a controlled way to put that fire out. Now get to it quickly.
Cephis will prioritize getting the living people off the ship first, and once he's done with that, between he and Theus, I imagine that won't take very long. And then he will go up to Nargle and grab the bag of holding?
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little confused about how, like, what you intend to happen.
So
here.
I rolled up
Uh,
50 foot of tent hide that contains nothing but water. So all you do is just take the top off of it, and you could literally douse 50 liters of water over top of the fire, and it's coming out of the tube, so it's like a fire hose, right?
All right, fair enough.
So you have a very controlled way of putting out this fire.
Oust, what were you saying?
I was just saying we had obviously Fierce on the broom as well, but I just realised that he's going to be carting people to the ship as well, so don't worry.
Yes. All right. So, what do you do? What do you call Cephis?
Well, Cephis will do his best to put it out, but I mean, the ship's on fire, and even if we put out the fire, the sails are still destroyed, likely. But like, he will
Well,
do his best to put out whatever fire he can.
The sails are good because Bjorn saved them. Give me 2 rolls with a
Oh, he
d20.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay, my mistake. I'm full of shit. 2 what rolls you said?
2 luck rolls. So luck roll with advantage.
There's one just right over here.
So you get a
Oh,
19
that-
and a 10.
All right.
With a 19, you spend most of the water in the weird sausage container that Noggle has made, and the ship is safe. There's a part of the hull around the grate, which is pretty flimsy, and you can't really walk on it. But otherwise, the ship is like the barge is secure.
Right.
It shouldn't burn up at least.
Okay. Well, that's what Cephis can do at this point. Yeah. He'll fly back over to Nargle, hand him back his bag, and Cephis thinks this was a good idea.
So Cephis, as you kind of lower down to the deck and start putting out the fire, Nibbles sees that you have the bag of holding and starts chasing you around, squawking madly. He doesn't seem to be impressed that you're carrying the bag. And you guys have noticed in the past that when we take camp, if Noggle does not leave the bag fully attended, Nibbles will actually open the bag and start putting rocks in it. The bag probably has about 200 pounds of just loose stones in it, because Nibbles likes to collect fucking stones, because he's just a weirdo.
What a hero.
And occasionally you also see this tiny little mechanical creature, just this tiny little thing that looks like a crab. And it sometimes it guards the entrance to the bag and kind of snaps at Nibbles, and they get in fights. And then eventually invisible force will kind of pick them both up and separate them.
It's kind of like a whole little crew over here.
Yes. He's a gnome, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I just figure if not illusions, you're creating shit, right? So
Yeah, fair. But so Cephis will return with the bag of holding, saying this was a good idea. Cephis definitely would have left the ship to burn. Then we'll just hand back the bag of holding.
good. Noggle will then go over and ask Nibbles or he'll bamf Nibbles over to him.
And Ost, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, how easy is it to descend down the cliff? I'm guessing it's pretty sheer-sided.
With the help of Saldin, Theus, and Cephis, you can get to the boats or to the ship pretty easily.
Okay.
I will allow all of you to gather at
Cool.
the ship if you want to. After getting the children off while it was burning.
Cephis, did you in your investigations below deck, do you happen to see any maps, plans, inventories, etc. for the ship?
DM, as I recall, I saw generic supplies and the one quarters that Eyes and Player know to be the Mind Flayer's quarters, right?
Yeah, you also saw the quarters of the deckhands, but with a 19, you didn't find anything else that you found important. There might be, and now you have better time, you can go down and have a look again. There might be correspondence or other kind of personal belongings, but nothing like that just jumped out at.
So,
If possible, I'd like to
Safis-
do that or
Yeah.
assist Safis in doing that.
Yeah, Safis did not find anything, but Safis was also looking for people the first time. Now that the ship is no longer on fire, Safis thinks he could find something, yes. If you would like to
course.
help, you are welcome to.
By all means.
I would say that Safis
With a passive investigation of 24.
24. You're just going down there, but you're taking your time with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. I will say that you have taken off the like you've put out the fire. The battle is won. You have kind of saved the day here. So I will let you decide where you're going and like kind of where you are kind of gathering up after or now to figure out what you guys are going to do. So basically, because Evan, you also need to have break
Yeah.
soon. I would say Safis is just rummaging through the hold of the ship while the rest of you are doing your thing.
Yeah, just before I go, Safis will do some brief introductions for the party to Saldin, so there's not just a 7.5-foot tall black dragonborn here, without any rhyme or reason.
Hello.
Safis would like to introduce Saldin. This is Safis's mentor. We have known each other for many years. Saldin, this is Otst, Nurgun, Bjorn, and Theus, and he kind of waves over at the Nomad Levitator. And these are random children that we have met in the last few minutes. Safis does not know any of them.
Well, I'm Saldin Rixorus. He looks around on the children. I'm glad you made it. Now.
And one last thing that Safis will say before I have to duck out. Safis would like to tell you, Saldin, that this person, pointing at Theus, is the person that I said would help, and this person, he says, pointing at Bjorn, is the person I said would most likely help. And that's the end of his remarks with that. I, the player, now have to go. Such is the ways of life. Talk to you all later.
See you in a minute, Evan.
Yep.
As Safis ducks out, he looks clearly emotional, trying to get an escape, kind of going away from all of you. Is that correct, Safis?
Yeah, he definitely has a lot on his mind, clearly, much more than even this immediate situation would suggest. Alright. Goodbye.
See you, Evan. Well, so, he looks at all of you. What is the plan, then?
First of all, we need to take a rest. Make sure the children are good. Divvy food. Do inventory below decks.
Agreed. That was my next plan. It's, yeah.
What I assume that Kevin's been summoned by now. You don't have to drag him out because he's invisible.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'll have Kevin start too. He'll grab a mop and bucket and start cleaning off anything that looks like it's like dirty, right? So he's gonna get all the soot off. He's gonna clean stuff up. He's just gonna start spit polishing. And then Nongo will say, I'm going to sit down for a bit and see if I can't gain some of my arcane abilities back. Yes, inventory of the ship would be good to make sure that the children are fed, bring them back over, explain to them that everything's just going to be fine. Nibbles, go and play with the children. And Nibbles kind of walks his head, just walks over into the kids. It's like, the children.
The children are not kind of the most like they're looking shaken, but they're doing as they're told. Some of them ask you uncomfortable questions like, "Where's my parents?" Who talks to the children?
Nibbles.
So only Nibbles talk to the children. All right. So they are entertained by the weird chicken that is clowning around in front of them.
Yeah, he gets
Right.
stuck in a hole and starts walking back and forth, not being able to get out.
Alst will kind of sit down next to Nongul resting and kind of do that thing where you kind of sort of smack water out of your other ear, but instead of water coming out of the ear, it's just green dust. It's like, whew, what a day. And then he just starts trying to do a short rest before doing anything else.
Bjorn, what are you doing?
I would like to approach there was an adult with the children, right?
Yeah, he's a man. He looks beaten up. He's being carried by an 8-year-old-ish tabaxi girl and a little like 4-year-old boy.
I would like to approach the man. And first, by looks, evaluating his wounds.
He looks like he was beaten to within an inch of his life.
Is there any dead on
Yes.
board?
There are two corpses lying up there.
No, below
the-
decks.
Below decks? No, there are no corpses below decks.
I'll also take the ring back from Bjorn
Sure.
if he.
Oh
Gives it
yeah,
up.
I give the sure.
All right.
Uh,
So the
you
way the
use-
ring works is that if you die while wearing the ring, your soul enters it, unless it already houses a soul. You can remain in the ring or depart for the afterlife. As long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature that's wearing it. A wearer cannot prevent telepathic communication. So I will, over this next short rest, I will unattune to the ring. And if I want to talk to the Illithid, I'll put the ring on my finger.
Sure. You can write that down on the item.
I will, yeah.
You approach the man. He's basically getting dragged around. He is barely conscious. Just like that he is on his legs is a miracle.
Are you gonna live?
He doesn't really answer you.
Do the kids provide for him? Like, are they skilled in any sense?
No, you see the tabaxi girl in front of you looks at you, like she looks up, her diminutive figure kind of saying, "I'll make sure he doesn't die. He's okay." What about you? Are you okay? She asks you.
No.
Why not?
And I walk away. I walk towards Aust, sitting next to Nuggle.
Hello.
So this is kind of hard to me and difficult to explain. You must understand that there are certain rules you must abide when you are from the true north, as I am. One of them is when you enter battle, it's life or death. And I've seen you fight, and your skill is impressive, first off. And also, you go into fights with no fear. And even though you say stuff that can make you uncertain, there is no doubt in your actions.
Well,
Today I surrendered. That is not the way. That is not how I should have done. Look,
you didn't surrender.
I did. And Theus was the one saving me. I cast him a glance for wherever he is sitting or standing.
Well, firstly, it's very easy to fight like that. Although, albeit a new experience, with a certain amount of abandon when you don't particularly have anything riding on it, and also when you have quite a lot to prove. But I can't. Part of it's just dumb luck, I'd imagine. Although not really that lucky, considering I tend to spend a lot of our encounters on my back. But never mind. But I wouldn't. I mean, firstly, I can't look around. I don't see any Northmen on board, so I wouldn't worry about breaking that kind of cultural taboo, because I think we're probably safe. I can fairly assure you that nobody here is going to be, dobbing you in. But no, I mean, I wouldn't put yourself down. You fight better than all of us, with the strength and apparently the reserves of all of us put together in some cases.
Your words are kind, but
I've seen you take hits that would literally kill me, and well, keep moving.
Your words are kind.
What you did today wasn't a plea for your own mercy, but for other people's. There's nothing wrong with that.
But the way you live, the way you fight, that is the code. What I did today was a disgrace. Please let me regain my honor. Here, take these. I pulled from my backpack quite a large pouch.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened the pouch and like throw it on the deck. And in the pouch there are several crowns and ointments of power. Like there's several driftwood crowns made of wood, a few bronze crowns, one silver. It's very small. It might have been a child's crown. One gold, and one which is made of ice. It's very beautiful, and it has these blue blue sapphires on the top, and you can see like there's smoke, like this the same kind of icy fog that's coming from my pelt is also on this crown.
Well,
please take these and let me prove to myself, prove that I fight like you, and I will never surrender again.
I don't doubt you for a second, and I can assure you next time that we are fighting, I will be, for a change, side by side with you rather than somewhere else. It seems that we tend to stay alive a lot longer when we're not separated as a group. And don't worry, you'll get these back. And I reach into my own bag and pull out one of the 2 remaining bottles of Rehout's Reserve from my bag and go, it's been a day. Feel free to do with this what you will. Yeah, and sort of pass him the bottle of alcohol. Yeah.
What kind of liquor is it?
I think we said it was oh god, it's some kind of like prune or apricot based like rum or gin or something like that.
It's basically what you in Danish would call brændevin, which means it is just you take a fruit and then you just
ferment
ferment the fuck out of it, and it will make you blind. It is triple X, and I guess, and if this is Rehat's own special, then it's probably like Bootlicker's Reserve or something, right? It's a decent kind of prune alcohol.
All right. So when you take out the liquor, you feel a little tug on it. Snuggles just over there with his book open, kind of. You can see a hand right in front of you, kind of grabbing the bottle. He's waiting for his turn.
Nongle, this is for our fighter here. I'm sure we can find some more for later, maybe.
Champion doesn't mind.
Well, that's up to him.
Look at the size of me, just a taste.
I would warn you though, he has something to prove now, so I wouldn't get on the wrong side of him.
I let go of the bottle. Of course, you can have a sip. And I extend my hand towards you, Aust. And please, only give these to me when I'm worthy again. And I extend my hand to like make that,
The
awesome,
Dylan, you son of a bitch thing. Yeah. I knew what's
exactly.
going on. Yeah, I return that, but it's just a very weak arm that's returning it. It's like, oh, okay. It's almost like this is my dump snap. Yeah, I will return. It's like, I'll do my best to judge when you're ready.
Thank you.
But please don't be offended if I don't actually carry it in my bag. I'm incredibly weak.
Oh, the things, they are like very delicate. It's
Oh, okay,
obvious
maybe
that they are made for noble people.
Okay. Well, in which case I'll keep hold of them as long as I need to, and as long as you need me to.
Thanks. And after Nongle takes his sip.
Oh, Nongle's gonna first of all, once the bottle comes over Nongle, he'll then cast Prestidigitation to create a cup, and then he'll cast Prestidigitation again to spice it to his liking, and then he'll get Kevin to taste it, which just falls right to the floor of the deck, and then he'll have his drink, and then cast Mage Hand. Mage Hand's still up, and he'll set it back over to you. So he's doing a little ritual thing.
And then I take the bottle, and while walking to the rudder, I finish it.
I'll look down at the one remaining. I'll look down at the one remaining bottle and say, "You're for when we get home." Well, I'll just close it up.
Theus,
and then probably just fall back and just doze from then on. But yeah.
Theus, witnessing this conversation, do you say or do anything?
Can I seek out Safis mentor Saldin?
Saldin is kind of talking with the children. He's the only one not covered in blood in the same way as the rest of you are, so they're not as afraid of him as they are of everybody else. So he's just trying to talk to them. It doesn't seem like he enjoys children or being funny or something, but that seems to lead the children on. So it has quite a weird thing where he's not enjoying himself, but that makes the children happier about it, right? So
okay, like a grumpy old uncle.
Yeah, precisely. Yes, don't pull the tail.
Okay, it's okay. I would take over immediately, but you also came here to save these. Like, you were aware of this, right? Here, like you came because of this.
I came because Safis' sister has been kidnapped. It seems like, looks around, children all over the Emirates and the Sand Sea are being kidnapped.
Yes, and I actually have some information there. What was the name? Staunchflow?
Staunchflow, yes.
How it's written?
I will show you on the map.
Where is it?
That is.
Okay,
We were planning on sailing right by there, right?
Yeah, that was actually your destination all along.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I've heard that from that girl, seemingly she was forced to be part of this. That's the little Tabaxi girl. And there seems to be even more going on in Staunchflow. Probably hundreds.
Has Safis told you about Atet Henenu?
But what?
Atet Henenu. Or maybe you
How's
know
it
of her
written?
yourself. It is the slavers Safis told you about. I will write it down here in the Discord chat.
Not much, no. I hadn't that talk yet. How's the importance?
Atet Henenu is a slaver. Bordering on the legal Rathajar, the wealthiest individuals in all of the Emirates. It would seem that she is working at Senkali. They're gathering children. They are keeping a large amount of Rathajar. I know not for what. It seems like whatever scheme is going on, the same is happening here. Perhaps they will be going to Staunchflow. If
Are they going from Rafajar to Staunchflow or from Staunchflow to Rafajar?
I do not know. I guess if the child can be trusted, Staunchflow is the destination of all of this, but I do not know. I only know that they took rain in summer and beat me back. Dungeon they have filled with children, all beneath the age of 10. And even though they can be seen from the street above, people walk by, deigning not to look down at the filth below them. I do not care much for the specific doings and businesses of all the peoples of the Sansi or the Emirates. Rain and Summer is family to me, as she is to Cephis. So we shall free her together. I was hoping for your help.
Well, it seems that we have the same destination then. I would say
Rathajar.
if Staunchflow is the destination, we go to there first. Before we can, if we go to Rafajar, and even if we get like the source there, if the people die in Staunchflow first, if we know that what they are doing is like concentrate, like has destination Staunchflow, then we should go there, and then we can still like go back to source. It's not good if we win the war but lose the. If we win the battle but lose the war by maybe like these children, when after we are done with Rafajar, maybe they're already gone in Staunchflow.
I don't
Well,
know.
do we know
It
where the
seems-
children have gone, or
It seems
or
like
where
this
they're
is
from?
something we should all talk about. Figure out what we know. Make a plan. Without preparations, the hunt will always be a failure. Excuse me, you were saying, little one.
I was curious. Where are these children from? Should we not get them home and then back on our way?
Well, that depends on what has happened to the families. What I recall is that they have all fallen victim to the Trinkali, who has their settlement up north. They might still be holding some slaves up there. I do not know.
Well, we should ask the children then. Children,
one of the older ones, like who is maybe 9, around about as tall as you, looks at you. Yes.
Where are you from? Are these all your family members, or?
No, this is my little brother, and we know that cat over there. We are all part of the Marana tribe. We are just traders at the Sand Sea, and
Yes,
now,
good. Where is your tribe located? Do you know?
well, we got attacked by the Tlinkali, and they took us all captured. My parents is back at
Yes, boy, is stating
wherever
the
they
obvious.
kept us.
Where do you live?
the Sand Sea.
Yes, but whereabouts in the Sand Sea? You see, I want to take you home.
Wherever the caravan takes us. My home is with my family, and
so your family's destroyed then? Do you have extended family elsewhere? Nongle's thinking on the nomad level, the gnome level of thinking.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have family everywhere, right? I mean, they're in every fucking port, every ship, there is a gnome on there, and you're related to them, right?
you see the young boy like look more and more confused as he says, "My family is. The last I saw, my father was in the prison up with the scorpion people, and no."
What
Who
about your
else?
uncle and your aunt and your grandfather, your grandmother? Does your entire family travel by the ocean? By the Sand Sea?
The boy is clearly moved by this as he is getting prodded in a scientific way, maybe not as gentle as one ought to be with a traumatized child, as he says, we all live together. The tribe is the family. There is nothing else. They have, of course, the Kalari people, but that is all.
Roar,
Yes.
obviously, Nongle has gone out and done quite a few little errands for the pillar or whatnot.
Yes.
And so there should be some sort of procedure to deal with, finding abandoned children or whatnot.
That is correct. Oh, wow. All right. Perfect. Now I have to improvise.
Would they be? Yeah, but would they be like the way I'm thinking it is that they would be absorbed by the pillar?
That will definitely be kind of small communities here and there. That is like orphanages or other things that is run by the Tranquil Pillar. The closest one that you know would be in Fida Hajar. From here.
So there is. Okay, so I could technically drop
you would
the
have
kids
in
off
larger cities or some like kind of land estates. They will have. There will be kind of places where you could that could absorb children. But what they're saying is that the Tlinkali settlement that you found, their parents might still be there, captured.
Run along, children. I must speak with the adults now. Go, get.
The children are like, they're not feeling too well, but as happens with children sometimes, they let the boredom overtake them, and then they start playing with each other, right? So,
all right, I'll send Nibbles over. I'll also send my clockwork automation over there, so they can it'll start blowing little fire sparks, just to like show them little, that, and then I'll have like Kevin was gonna be. I'll send I'll send Nongle's army over to entertain the children while I speak with the adult. Ost, you seem quite knowledgeable of these parts and what's actually happening, especially when it comes to possibly stowaways. I'm sure your knight code must have something, being a commander of this army.
Well, I mean, I can't say the Legion particularly is the most, what's the word, welcoming to to strays. They tend to just get kind of put to work.
Well, I'll turn the children over to the pillar at Fida Hajar. But how far would it be to get to Fida Hajar?
It's on our route, right?
Well, yes, but if the children's parents are still trapped with the Tlinkali, we should turn this vessel around and go back and save their parents, don't you think?
I'd agree, but would we want to do that with a boat full of children?
No, that's why we send the boat down to
Oh.
Fidel Hajar, and we take the levitator back up to the Tilinkali, and we attack from the skies or whatnot. I'm
I
sure
just
It
want
would
to-
seem that we would have to take an inventory of the people on board, the adults, see whether we have the expertise to drive a boat.
I would also
them.
assume that because all of them were kidnapped in Rafajar, that if we send them all to Rafajar to an orphanage, even if one run by the Tranquil Pillar, they will just end up again as sacrifices to whatever ritual they are attending to do.
Trust me, I'll send a letter along with the pillar, and they know that they're kept there in safedom from me.
It's not like I don't trust you, but I don't trust these lands as long as your pillar can only do that much, and they can only have so much
capturing whatever family we can find in the Tlinkali camp could go back and meet up with their family in Fidel Hajar. Those that are abandoned or not taken up or absorbed by the rest of the families will be, well, students of the pillar. Or
I have a better idea. Stuff an orphanage here where they can be taken from the streets. There's another orphanage I know. It's a little bit farther, but it's much safer, and I know they don't have any influence there.
the
How much
issue
farther?
is that we need to have this ship sail down, this large vessel sail down to Dragonborn friend, what is your name again?
I am Selden.
Sultan,
Yes.
do you know how to pilot a ship?
He looks at the rigging. Well,
I don't
I've-
think he'd be able to pilot it on his own, put it that way.
he
Okay.
looks at the beaten man. If any of you can help heal this,
Yes,
parent
yes,
or
yes,
whatever
yes.
he is, then at least I can keep the ship from capsizing until you are done at the settlement.
Yes, if
Or
you
I
don't
can just-
believe, Theus, if you don't believe that they should remain at Fidel Hajar, then we just have them park the ship a little bit ways away. We take the Gnomish Levitator back. Of course, we'll do this in the morrow, and we'll attack the Tilinkali where they camp and destroy them and rescue anyone that need to be rescued, and then take the Gnomish Levitator back to the ship and reunite the families. And there, this is a simple decision.
And yes,
I
but
agree.
not all families, not all, every children will have their families. There might have been many who have been killed.
Well, we assume because they're all part
True.
of the same caravan, then they will absorb each other and just look after one another. If not, we decide to do with the spares after that.
I agree.
There's just one thing. This Tabaxi girl we found, Vega.
You see her piercing eyes just staring at you, clearly listening in on your conversation.
I do want to not have her spend much more time here. She helped us. She was one of. I consider her a part of the hero party that saved these children.
Very well.
And
What do you suppose we do with her? Take her to battle Tlinkali?
No, I just want to.
Then leave her on the
first
boat.
of all- No, you can't. They will follow her. They will find her, and I've promised her
We'll
that I
deal
will
with her
first
once
all
we
take-
rescue the families from the Tlinkali.
I need to make her. I promised her that I will make her the first priority, and we just need to go to a port. You just get me to a port. I will send her to a place where I know she will be saved.
And
The
let the
longer-
families suffer more torture for the Tlinkali. You're talking about days traveled. If you wish to do this yourself, by all means, take the ship and go. But I mean to
Yep.
head north, back
your
to the...
mentor Sardine. How much do you trust him?
How much do I trust
Considering
him?
the Seldon, considering the encounter that we just had, I think we probably would be wise to have all of the help that we can. For the,
Havis seems to know him rather well.
yes. But and I'm in no doubt of his abilities. I mean,
Of course.
he seems like he can handle himself. But I would rather have him beside us when we go into that camp than sending him off with one child. Now,
Perhaps
whilst I
we-
appreciate that you are invested in this young one, we can't weigh up the lives of many for just a single one. I appreciate Actually, you said they could. They said they can find you, or they can find the child. They can track her. Is that right?
I assume so.
Right. I take off my amulet for against the protection and location, or whatever it's called,
Yeah, sure.
that I have, and I hand it to Fierce. So it's like, well, for the meantime, if you give her this, she won't be able to be found by anybody. Does that solve our issue for
I
now?
don't currently want to leave her alone. At least, if we are not sending her away, at least
She won't
should
be
stay with us.
alone.
No, I cannot. She's currently very hurt, and I've seen children like that. If you leave them alone, they
She won't
fall
be
into
alone. She'll be with
that-
the rest of the children and the adult once I awake him. And
They
this
can't
dragon.
provide for her. They
Ash-
can't provide for her.
As you're looking towards where she was a second ago, she's gone. You can't see her anywhere. She's probably slunk off somewhere.
Did anybody notice something?
Nope, nobody noticed it.
I still
You
have
see,
seen invisibility.
this is how-
She
this
turned
is how-
invisible. I can still
This is
see
how
her.
quickly children disappear, and especially I've seen children like her. Like if we leave her alone, that one adult and these children won't stop her from falling into old patterns.
Well, then,
From
Theus,
behind
by all
you,
means, stay
Theus.
here and look after the children if that's your goal.
From
I
behind
can't
you,
leave
you
Bjorn
hear
alone.
the voice of the young girl as she kind of suddenly appears. Says, I can take care of myself. I'll go with
Just
you.
disappeared before
I
all of our
don't doubt that.
I'll go with you.
I am
We can
pretty
free
sure that you
the
can keep yourself alive.
we can free
Can you
the
keep your mind
parents
sound?
together. I'll go with you.
If she's going into battle, then she's your responsibility. But
Well, let's take we are a party. We are a fellowship. Should we not be voting on this? Unless this is something
Agreed.
inseparable to you, bringing a child into battle. I care
May I
not if she can
suggest,
disappear in
however-
front of our very eyes, but still.
may I suggest,
Yes, please.
given the current state of everybody here, that we do perhaps sleep on it. Also, it means that then Sophise can vote for himself later on. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I am, to use an old Caphonian term, shagged. So, I could really use, not a sleep, but, sit down a cocoa. But, yeah. Also, we do need to find out whether we have enough supplies on the ship to, feed all of the hungry, hungry mouths that we now have. We seem to have a habit of collecting people so far.
Yes, of course we do. Well, take an inventory of the ship. Let me get back to my book, and I'll bring this weak man up back onto his feet. Dragonborn, do you have a say in any of this?
He looks sternly at all of you. Well, as long as we say the sister,
We'll save who we can.
rain and summer, then yes.
Oh, you have friends captured up there as well.
No, Rathajar.
I'm sorry, who? What?
So right now, the parents of the children you saved is up here at the Tlinkali settlement, right?
Yeah.
Then you know that, or at least the girl said that and Thea said that the children is being gathered in Staunch Flow for some kind of ritual. Salden told you that other children are being gathered in Rathajar. These might be a part of the same thing, or they might be a different thing altogether.
So, Dragonborn, if after we complete this task, we will go to Staunchflow then, or would you prefer to go to Rathajar?
Mr. Salden, do
Yes.
you work alone or as part of a larger cohort?
I work with Savis.
You work with Sophis.
We do have allies here and there, but not an army to call upon, if that's what you ask.
You don't need an army. Some good men. But it seems like we have a decision to make. past tomorrow, I think our next goal is probably northwards, or at least back towards the camp in some way or shape or form. Sophis, maybe you can assist us with these negotiations.
Yes, Cephis, what do you have to say about what we just spoke about?
Yes, you heard all of what we've just said.
Safis was busy taking a cat nap. Safis up to speed.
Cephis, you have been down in the cargo hold of this ship, and you have been rummaging around. You found some money and some more kind of food stuffs and stuff like that. But you kind of what is it? You haven't found much. You have found some personal correspondence of what looks like the deckhands that gave you the information that they were part of the Hinenu Trade Association, and that the captain that you have captured in the ring is some kind of associate of the big boss of the association.
Right.
With regards to your conversation, do any one of you want to give Cephis the down low of what you have talked about as he has been downstairs?
Oh, Cephis, what did you find downstairs? Anything of use? We're looking for supplies to feed the children with.
Safis found plenty of supplies, but Safis didn't find anything of real interest. Dried meats, fruits, water. Nothing interesting.
Good. Well, perhaps our plan here is negotiable. We're planning on sleeping on it, but there are apparently children in Rath Hajar that have had the same consequence as these children. Whether it's related or not, we're unsure. Staunchflow, however, does have some people that our Dragonborn friend is wishing to release from captivity, and he's willing to help us if we help him.
It is the other way around, no, but yes.
Well, honestly, I care little about this.
What it boils
care
down
about
to
action.
is...
At Fida Hajar, we have a place where we could drop off the children if we need to. However, the families may be located with the Tlinkali. So we wish to go and seek out the Tlinkali. Possibly. Theus is looking for this child, this Tabaxi child is wanting to come and fight with us.
Nongle.
I just want to get her to a boat, so I can send her to a place I know.
Yes, but this will be less than a day. Tomorrow we'll go back up to the Tlinkali, defeat them, rescue the people, and be back before then. If not, we're adding days to rescue these family members. It's a very simple decision.
Then I won't say that we have to go to port now, but I won't let her alone. You can leave not her. The other children we can leave with in a safe place with someone. We should at least have someone, something that then can keep them safe. Don't you have any spell that at least gives us the ability to have an eye on them?
Child, come closer. Nongle waves over the Tabaxi.
She takes like a fraction of a step closer to you.
Open your mind.
Why?
Because I wish to see your future. I am a fortune teller of sorts.
Roll deception.
6.
You're a wizard from the pillar. She looks at you. A magus the superior, isn't that right?
Do you not think that we are capable of telling fortunes? If you know so much about us, then you must understand this. Regardless. He'll cast Read Thoughts on her. Use his...
Do I notice that?
I'm using a channel arcana. Yeah.
As soon as he does this, I will shake him away and say, "Okay, let's stop this. This child has been going through a lot, and she does not deserve to have her fucking mind read. I won't stand here and see you meddling around with the mind of a child who has to go through so much. Noggle, stop this right now."
Very well. And Nongle stops it, but what did I pick up while that was happening?
Let me find
This
out.
is his full actions, or could I stop him before that?
You found out nothing.
Fierce,
She rolled higher than 17?
She was a closed book, yeah.
You seem to have assumed a lot of authority over many of these people over the past few days. Perhaps we should, considering these people are, or were enslaved, perhaps we let them think for themselves. Make their own decisions, at least. If she would like to give us the information, that would very well help us, then perhaps she will share it with us.
Very well.
Probably not with me, I hate kids, but, with the rest of them.
Let's just rest and decide what's going on. If the child wishes to come and won't be separated from Theus's tit, then let them die together or whatnot. If they come with us, very well. If they stay together and fight massive scorpions with a freaking child, then fine. It's understandable. But we'll make our decision in the morning. We have rest to do.
Nongle, before
Yes.
we bed down for the evening, do you have a way of messaging over long distance to people that you've met before?
Of course I do.
Interesting. I'm just
It
thinking.
needs to be
we
worth
do
it.
have-
It will expend some of the more powerful
course.
abilities that I would be able to use tomorrow, but perhaps the next day?
Yes, I'm just wondering whether we could provide Mr. Saldin here some help whilst we go to the other location. We know that at least some of my friends, my former cohort members, were traveling in that direction. We could at least see where they are. Maybe they can assist in
assist with the
Rafajar whilst
Trinket.
we go to Staunchflow.
Well, I mean, it's possible after I continue
If we're
my
talking
studies.
about if we're talking about scorpions, maybe a bit of a pincer movement. Both coordinate attacks on the same on two different places at once.
But we can be there in less than a day. How far do you think they are away?
Oh no,
Just,
I mean Staunchflow
just
and Rafajar, not the base to the north. So on about later when we go on to the next place.
Oh,
not
yes,
rather than
yes,
this place to the north.
Of
I'm
course,
just going to quickly summarize the information that you've got so far, right? Before we talk on. You know that in the mountains north of you, some of the children's parents are kept prisoner still by the Slinkali. In Rathajar, Saphis' sister and other children is being caught by the Slaver Association. And in Staunchflow, according to Theus and the girl, they're gathering the children, hundreds of them, for a ritual of some kind.
Mm.
That is the 3 pieces of information you have.
It would seem then that maybe we have an opportunity to gain more information at the camp to the north also. If we know that they're gathering these children for something, it would be useful for us to know not just what for, but when for. If we can at least put Stormflow as number 3 on our agenda rather than number 2 whilst we go to Rafajar and help.
Master Bjorn, you've
there.
been rather quiet throughout these debates. What is your opinion? Fight valiantly against the Tlinkali, or, well, allow people to die and flee?
To me, it seems that Theus has given his word, though I am uncertain of if it's about protecting the girl or giving her what she needs and giving her a choice. And to me, none of these quests is impossible. In fact, it's kind of straightforward to me. There's only little way to the camp in the north. I could tie the gnome laviator to the back of the boat, and no one will have to travel alone. Our new friend, I look towards the Dragonborn. He could indeed take care of these. He seems capable while we invade the camp. Then we could travel to Radhadar. Sorry.
Rathajar.
Yeah, Hajar. That is only a little way to the east, and I think the rivers will take us straight there. And after that, towards Stormsflow, it's a simple triangle if we value the fastest options. We could also go straight to Stormsflow you all know my loyalty lies with Theus, but I have something to prove now. So an early fight to me would be valued.
Safis is inclined to agree with Bjorn's first suggestion. Safis thinks heading to this camp, gathering information as all said, then to Rathajari, and then to Staunchflow.
I would
seems
agree.
To be the most logical route for us to follow.
Also, it doesn't rule out the idea that we may pick up at least some more crew members for this ship in the camp. Maybe then, once we've taken care of the camp to the north, they can sail to Fidajar, at least for relative safety, whilst we go to Rafajar. Then on to Staunchflow from there once we've done what needs to be done.
So, Roar, how many, what's that, what would that be like in daytime and, travel time? We'd be looking at putting, at least an extra week onto our travels to the,
At least.
to the wilds of Kangundi, right?
Yeah, at least.
Right.
But that doesn't really have a timer on it.
It doesn't, but the pillar has a timer on it. They're expected to be
That's
there.
correct. That's correct.
So,
Does the article bring that up to the group?
no.
Okay.
Nongle, kind of half of this, but half north of this. There's talk of rituals, and, well, sounds like some kind of cult, by the sounds of it. Or something's being done to these children. Is that something that might already be on the Pillar's radar? Scrying Ball?
Well, of course.
As much as I would be reluctant to involve perhaps the more forceful elements of the Pillar.
The only way I'm willing to involve the pillar if it's on our direct route. If we stray from our path, I will not involve the pillar. I would
agree.
I have told them exactly my plans, and I need to update them with my plans. Taking an
Staunchflow
extra...
is on the route, however.
It is, but Rathajar is not, and Staunchflow may be stopping by there for less than a day, would be en route. However, spending more time in that place than need be would not be best advised for me.
Safis is confused with your fear of this organization. Lyrical, do you not work for them? You seem quite scared, in all honesty, to inform them about anything you do.
Well, I have no fear, but seeing the abilities that I've seen, even your unsanctioned amulet that you just passed the little girl, there is many things that if the pillar was to want to have a meeting with me, they would have a meeting with you as well, and that would be disastrous to us all.
Very good point.
So, if we do not continue on the path that I have set forward for us, that the pillar is aware of, questions will be asked, inquisitors will be sent, and then, well, you can imagine what would happen with your sword, your trinkets, your unsanctioned magic, even Bjorn's aura around him.
Can you not simply tell them that we have been delayed due to unforeseen circumstances?
Within reason, if we're delayed for a week or more, that won't pass up very well.
Safis thinks being lost in the desert and being accosted by, at this point, cults of slavers is a pretty legitimate reason to take a step back from dungeon delving.
Well, of course, a step back, not a week. If we're delayed for several days is fine, but your plans, what I'm hearing around this circle here, is that we plan on delaying a week, if not more. And I need to send reports in every 5 days to the pillar, and they know where I am sending these messages from. So if I'm to send a message and we're way off course, that would look very suspicious and arouse their attention and possibly bring them towards us. I am not yet willing to sacrifice my connection with the pillar.
Noggle, are you saying that we should let possible possibly Safi's sisters, or what is it, like your sister and brother, or your sisters?
The point is moot, but continue.
We can't let these children die, the sacrifice to some unholy ritual. And we need to do this now.
If we are to stop from one side of this coast to the next and help every child that was in need, every man that was imprisoned, every woman that was wronged, we will never reach our destination. Pick your quest, sir. If
Safis
you
would
wish...
like to point out, never reach your destination. Your intention is to get to these ruins far off on the other side of the continent. Safis was in it for the excitement and the adventure, but Safis is now much more motivated to go and do these things like save lives. The world is a dark and scary place, and Safis enjoys doing what he can to make it better.
And
If
I
you do
prefer to
not
pick my
appreciate-
battles.
Yes, your battles seem to be tucking your tail between your legs and running off to some long forgotten ruins to gather what? Cookies for your organization?
Yes, cookies.
Yes, you seem very intent on keeping in the good graces of your people, despite the hundreds, he says, looking over at Thea's, of lives on the line.
And
My
also,
calculation brings that much over 1,000 people, but I understand what you're saying, but we can't save everyone.
Noggle, we are not
And
saving
if you
everyone.
wish to try to save everyone, the pillar will be upon you, and you will not yourself against the full strength of the pillar. Trust me, the artifacts that you all carry and the things that we have seen and been accustomed to would be of great interest to the pillar, and tied up in a way inside one of the pillar's dungeons, being picked apart and dissected, would not help you save anyone. We must pick our battles. So, to be foolish to make such a great enemy that can find us and track us no matter where we are, that could discern all of the information about everything that we have, even our deepest, darkest secrets, if you wish to make them an enemy, I'm not on your side. I wish to keep them
if you are on
unauthorized.
our side at all.
Well, of course I'm on your side. Have I not been with you
Are you?
since?
Safis thinks you have been on your side this whole time, and it just so happens we have been useful tools for you. And now that the push has come to shove, you seem ready to throw us by the wayside to save your own skin. Because we want to do something that is not to the benefit of your Calvetical.
I'm doing this for us, not for myself. I'm doing this so
Then
we
please.
have the full force of the pillar against us. I'm
Safis,
sorry, Safis, this isn't some desert tribe. These are powerful wizards that can appear
Safis
and
is aware of
appear
who the Conventicle is. Safis has argued and dealt with them on many occasions in these ancient ruins. He has been hired by them on several occasions.
Well, then, they could track us immediately and destroy
Yes.
us just as quickly.
Sure. And Safis does not care. Safis'
You
sister
hear-
is on the way
you
to
hear
Jari.
You hear the deep growl of Salden as he starts speaking. Boy, looks at you, Salden. Safis, you, as always, quick to emotion, to feel, and even though I admit that your sister and your family keeps a special place for me, he is speaking practicalities, not cowardice. If you were to fight the whole conventicle, then you could just as well have killed your sister yourself. But we do not need to be cowards about this, we just need to be practical and smart. So, tell us, Magister, how do we keep secret? How do we keep ourselves safe from the High Lords and the Soaring Island?
I could keep them at bay for a few days, but not the quest that you're asking us to do. Rathajar will have to wait another time.
Nongle, what if we give them something more? What if we provide them with information, new discoveries that we've made along our route, directly related to our journey?
If we make a discovery, I would have to report directly to the pillar. This isn't
not a
something
discovery. The hint of a discovery, shall we say? Perhaps our search on the way has led us to Rathajar, to Storage Flow.
Going
Perhaps
to
we
King
could-
Gundy is the hint of treasure, hint of information, hint of
I would
something
agree.
for the Tranquil Pillar. So
But there
if
can be
I
more
was
than
to
one
message
hint.
them, they may send someone else to King Gundy and us then to Rathajar, and we would abandon what we were doing, or they would send someone to Rathajar and then us to continue our path to King Gundy. The pillar has many men that could do many things. If I give them an ultimatum, I'm sure they would say that, well, you can't do both things yourself. We'll send help. Such as they sent help to your camp, Ost.
The Tlinkali worships dark gods forgotten long into the depths of the earth, which once was our homeland, the Kala River Valley.
Yes.
We shall go tomorrow and root out the evils that are in these mountains here. And I think, as this Chthonian individual is talking about, Master Gnome, that you will find your answers to what you can report to your Tranquil Pillar.
If we can create enough noise at that camp and get out of there quickly enough with everybody, perhaps that will be the diversion that we need. At least give us a couple more days. Once we've done the camp to the north, we can make a more solid decision on where we travel next. I think we're all in agreement that north is our next step. Are we not?
Then let's complete that task and have this debate at another time.
Agreed.
Rest.
There are bridges to be burnt.
Yes.
Shall we?
Feed the children, get some sleep. I'll bring this man back up.
The female tabaxi looks at you.
Who?
Dongle. She just curiosity and somehow sadness in her eyes as she says, "Are you okay?"
Why would I be okay? Of course I'm okay.
Because the times for me when I have been the saddest is the time where I have thought the most about myself and what I wanted, and not so much what other. So, just if you need to talk,
Well, if I need to talk, I wouldn't be to a child, a kitten such as yourself.
I'm not going to suggest that. I will say then maybe you should talk to some of the adults over there. Never mind. I'm about to drink some milk and go to sleep, and you guys can figure out what you're going to do tomorrow. So, good night, she says as she crawls up in the rigging and disappears into the crow's nest.
All right. Yeah, Nongle, as he's continuing doing a short rest, trying to get his arcane recovery back, so he can bring this man up. You
can do that.
Yeah, but as he's doing this, he's kind of broken up, and just the image that he had just a few days ago of the darkness that kind of came across everything is a little too much for him. And he's concerned, especially with Ost's weapon or whatnot, that unless they follow their actual path and do exactly what they're supposed to be doing instead of being sidetracked, they'll lose that. And then the Conventicle will actually be able to get into that. Especially his faction will be able to destroy whatever is meant to be found. So it is a little bit greedy in a way, because he wants to make sure that he finds out this information. But at the same time, if this is to fail, He knows the conventicle will come down on all of us. And there will be questions that we have to be asked that we cannot deny answering.
That's
We'll have to tell everyone what's going on. We're dealing with the most powerful, besides the Chthonians. We're dealing with the most powerful spellcasters. Well, actually, no, we're dealing with the most powerful spellcasters anywhere on the entire world, basically.
And you get the sense that this girl doesn't really understand. That she was just
Nongol doesn't
hurting.
care what she thinks. No. He really doesn't. Like he barely cares what anyone thinks. He thinks he knows what's best, right? Like Nongol definitely is like, I know exactly what's going on. I'm the smartest one here. Blah 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 blah. Right. So his ignorance is definitely there, but he's being altruistic. He's definitely doing this to make sure that this this group, this party, this fellowship is not going to be torn apart by the pillar. If he wasn't here, this would be easier for them. So if any of you have a read on Nongol, he's definitely being torn.
Björn would like to tie the gnome levitator behind the ship.
Sure, you make sure it's towable.
And then he would like to anchor up. So and try to, with my knowledge of ships, like calculate if we are going, if it's able to go, like swing around and go the other way again.
You're not far away from the settlement. You're far away enough that the Tlenkali wouldn't find out about the ambush. But with the current the way it is, it would probably be quicker to either just take the levitator up north or walk.
Yeah, the levitator does actually levitate, so it goes against current, right?
Yeah.
It would be much faster than the ship.
But it sounds like the ship will probably have to either stay here or move further south just to port up somewhere.
Well,
if we weren't to take it.
But remember, there's that
turn it around at the moment.
There's that adult there, right? So why don't I finish my short rest? I'll grab spell slots back or whatever, and then I'll cast a healing word on the wounded man, and then we can talk to him and see what he's capable of.
I'll take a short rest.
But yeah, I don't think you're further away than 4 miles away from the settlement.
Yeah,
cool.
So the levitator can get there really quick.
Yeah, and also we probably want to go in hard and fast rather than in a big slow boat as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Like we can cruise that thing right up to the shores against the river and fucking destroy shit, right?
Come and blast.
So, yeah, and we can also send Hafisin to like take a look and scout to make sure that we're not just running into a trap or whatever, right?
Yeah, we have 2 airborne people essentially that we can at least, so we can have kind of eye in the sky.
Yeah,
so.
And I can make you guys a little bit harder to detect as well if needs be.
What time of day is it at this point?
It's around 6 o'clock in the afternoon, half past 5, 6.
Okay, so the sun's kind of going down at this point, or is it down already?
Yeah, around. It is in the spring, so yeah, it's getting dark early. Yeah.
Okay. Do we know the sleep cycle of the Tlenkali? Are they diurnal, biurnal?
They mostly hunt around twilight.
When do they sleep?
They sleep in the middle of the day and the middle of the night.
Okay.
So you might want to keep a watch for at least the next couple of hours.
What I was going to say is, whilst I do my short rest, I'm going to go up onto the deck of the ship, probably near the stern of the ship because that's closest upriver. Sit down and sort of pull out a blanket, set it down, and then I want to take a look through these crowns that have been sort of placed in my possession and just see, just in terms of where I can gauge the like the origin of many of them. I'm not looking in terms of properties, just in case of where are these from? You know, who could this have belonged to? Okay, so I kind of like sit down with my drift globe sort of set it up, light it up, and then realize I can see in the dark now, so I just turn it off and I just do it all in dark vision. Yeah.
I will wait with that until Bjorn is back. He's on the toilet real
absolutely.
quick.
That's fine.
But I wanted to ask Theus, you rolled an insight.
No, Noggle just said who would be able to see it. I just want to see if Fierce would be able to see it.
All right. So with a 20, Nongle?
Does Fierce like understand?
Yes.
How much does he understand what you said?
I would. Okay, so yeah, I have a +1, so I'd say you pretty much pick up on what he's kind of like thinking. So you pick it up all. You pick all of it up.
Okay.
Bjorn.
Everybody's doing a short rest?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everybody can do a short rest.
Don't go over half your hit dice, guys, because we're probably going to be getting a long rest, right? So that way we can get all of our hit dice back.
Whoops.
Yes.
I'll stay at 6 then. That's fine.
Okay.
Right, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
How do you?
There we go.
So how do you actually use up hit dice on this sheet?
When
You
click
do the
on
little bed thing. Oh, sorry, go on.
click on the bed, and then there's two. The half hourglass is short rest. The empty one is a long rest. Click on that one, and then you can roll hit dice from there.
Also, I'm kind of basing the amulet of proof against detection and location as a temporary loan to the small tabaxi girl. So
Sure.
I don't
She
really
she
wanna
has taken that on.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll auto tune for the ring as well. And when I'm done, I want to cast on one of the of the men that we killed on the top deck. Is there anyone that looked like they were more kind of? Actually, wait, no. The dude, the fucking the Dragonborn guy just fucked up, right? He looked like he was in charge, kind of downstairs, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run up to him and fucking speak with Dead.
He was thrown into the river hours ago.
Oh, come on!
He was dropped off
Okay.
the cliff after he got the arm cracked off him. So.
Stop throwing away corpses! I can speak with them.
Guys, can everybody save their corpses until Nongle's had a look from now on, please?
Just the head. Just the head is fine. In fact, just the skull. I mean, if you were to strip the, it's fine.
Flaying is permitted, but please.
I will talk to one of the guys in the deck then.
All right. So right now we have two things happening. We have the crown the crowns are being examined by Oust, and we have one of the deck hands are being talked to in death. Saphis and Theus and Bjorn, what are you guys doing as?
Before we continue with that, how do I roll the dice? Because like I've clicked the short rest thing, and I'm clicking the roll button here. None of the dice are rolling.
It might be because you are out of hit dice from the you have the short rest button.
No,
Then it says roll, and then you have to push the normal button.
What is the normal button?
So you click roll, and then it will come up. Are you using the pop out for the?
Yeah.
Character sheet? Yeah. So it should be on the main page. It should have appeared. So it might be.
If you're using using a pop out, it will
yeah. Okay, that explains
that's what I had.
Okay, now I have like 40 of those windows open. So yeah, that would do it. All right.
But Theus, Bjorn, and Saphis, what are you doing? Just like a one sentence, and we will go through it before we end for today. I would say before we end the day.
Resting.
I would. You first?
Go ahead.
Probably mine takes a little longer. You first.
I'm still thinking mostly, so go ahead.
Okay. I just want before we are long resting. Like I don't know if you are long resting after that, but before we are long resting, I want to take Noggle aside.
All right. So you want to take Nongle aside. Nongle is going to talk with the guy. Saphis,
so Nongle's got this guy's fucking head this dead dude's head in his hand, and you come up and go to him. He's like, yes, as necrotic energy is flowing from Nongle.
I will wait.
Okay.
All right, we'll start with that then. As you have taken the dead guy, So what is the rules of? Can you put the speak with dead in the? Yeah, you have
it's
that.
in there. Yep.
You
So I
can
gotta
answer
ask,
the questions
5
you
questions.
pose. Sure. As a corpse to the one who was split horizontally. You can talk to him.
Sure. I just need
Um, Sure, and a mouth. Sure. Yep. All right. What are you asking them?
How many Cali are in that camp?
As the necrotic energies like flows from you, as you're burning the incense around the body, you see the eyes open like, and instead of having like the pupils, they are just milky white. As it's not focusing on anything. The head is not looking at you. There's nothing happening. It's just. No, Tsinkali up there, I think. Or maybe. I don't know. Only seen 4 or 5 at a time. It's a hive of them. So, probably a lot.
Did you fear the Tlinkali?
Never had to fear anything when I was sailing with Captain Cathorian.
Oh, it ruins my next chain of questions.
But I really hate the Gruthinks.
How many captives do they have inside that camp?
Only the ones we don't need. The adults, the grown-ups. I think Kali can do with those what they want. Can feel it to the Gruthinks of all I care. The head is just idling, basically.
Do they have any defenses that should be known?
They have the disgusting dogs, Gruthiks. They smell a lot of things, those. Dangerous. It's hard.
How does it feel to be dead?
What?
And then I'll drop the spell.
What kind of stupid question is and the spell ends.
That was for you, Bjorn. You may have physically cut him in half, but I mentally cut him in half. So that's for you, buddy.
You go to the stern of the ship before we return to Nongle and later Theus. And you take out you take out the crowns that Bjorn gave you.
Yeah, I just want to take a look through them, just see if I can discern any kind of history from them, rather than necessarily buffets or anything like that. Yeah,
Bjorn, what does he discern from the crown? Being an archaeologist and all.
The beautiful frosty one has otherworldly properties, whereas the elves are of fine make. They are
they all northern?
They're all, yeah, exactly. They're all northern of make, and they are all of them symbols of rulership.
Okay.
But like different tiers. You'll have the wood ones, the bronze ones, the silver one, and the ice one. And you have and that was. Did you have a single gold one, Bjorn? Or was
I had a single silver one and a single gold one.
All right.
A few bronze, and quite a few of wood.
Okay. Cool.
Give me a history check as well.
Your thing. History check. I don't know, 29.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
that's that plus 10 in history for that.
There you go. You don't recognize any specifics of the crowns. The ice one is definitely magical.
Mhm.
But you could probably just ask Bjorn about that if you want to. You know that that rulership and kind of honor goes hand in hand in the North. You can't be an honorable ruler without being without also being like a good ruler, right? So the legitimacy has a lot to do with kind of actions and consequences and how you uphold the law and rule your people.
Yeah.
You would guess that the wood ones is probably some low chieftains and some of the smaller settlements. Going up from there, the gold one maybe a petty king, and the silver one is definitely like one of the main northern kingdoms.
Okay.
Bjorn seems to be some kind of like hero from the north. You might like why he like gathers the crowns of different kinds of rulers from the north. That's something you'd have to ask him if it's no.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
So I will, I'll sort of pack them all back together neatly, put them back, and then just kind of just chill out. I imagine for the rest of the time. Yeah.
All right. And then we have Saphis. Did you do anything?
Not particularly. He might have gone to question that Tabaxi, since she seems to be the most talkative of these children and like the most consciously aware of what is going on.
She's
Saphis
up
is
in
going-
the crow's nest.
Yeah. Saphis quickly joins her. Saphis is approaching her with the assumption that she is also a victim of the slavers and is unaware that she has any kind of like relation to Theus or was in any way employed by them. So, kind of going up to her.
Give me a perception check as you go on.
All right. That is perception. 15.
15 is not enough. Like when you pick up your head, the kind of barrel of the crow's nest is empty, and then you hear from behind you, out on one of the limbers, it's like, "What do you want?"
Turning over to face her, does she seem like poised to attack, or is she just like relaxing in an unorthodox spot?
She's relaxing in an unorthodox spot. Also, she's showing off that she can hide from you if she wants to.
Fair enough. Saphis will turn over to her. Saphis would like to ask you. I don't think Saphis ever got your name.
Vega.
Vega. Saphis would like to ask Vega some questions. Mostly about what she has seen with traveling with this ship.
She looks at you.
Alright. Saphis would like to know if you have taken this ship to... what places you have taken this ship to before? Cities, towns, nations.
Only here.
Only to this camp and somewhere else?
Like you were just were you assuming that she was part of the slaver, like slave captured children, or how what do you say?
Cephis is assuming that she has been enslaved on this ship for some amount of time and is wondering where she has seen this ship gone in the time that she has been here.
She says, "Got on the ship here. So we were caught in the desert, and they brought us to the ship. Why? What's it to you?"
Cephis is curious to know where the ship has gone and where it has been. More to the point, who would recognize it if we were to sail it out into open waters?
It doesn't have a name.
But it has a very recognizable symbol on the back, he says, pointing towards the stern of the ship. That I believe anyone that is anyone will recognize.
Well, we could just take that symbol off, couldn't we?
Perhaps was it not carved into the ship? I thought it was carved into the wood.
Yeah, like we can carve it out.
Well,
I saw
yes,
that big guy of yours. He had a great axe. He could probably take it off if you wanted to.
Certainly, but the point is, ships are recognizable. All right, well,
She sighs.
Except-
Yeah, I know you're just trying to be. I'm sorry. It's just been some shitty days.
Cephas kind of nods.
Why did you guys do all of this? Why did you decide to just save a whole bunch of strangers?
Cephas likes to think we all had different reasons. Theos, because he is obsessed with saving children. Bjorn, because he is a glory seeker. Ost, because he has, despite his callous tone, has a warmer heart. And Nargle, because if he did not, he would be forced to walk the desert alone.
And Cephas?
Who knows? Cephas likes to think he is making the world a better place.
Bravo.
Cephas likes to think he is making the world a better place, but it is hard goings. He kind of like just nods at her. One could understand.
Like, it seems like the sentiment that you want to do something good kind of resonates with her.
Yes.
I like that. I think I want
Yes.
to do good as well.
Cephas thinks that makes you better than a lot of people. And he looks down at the ship very pointedly, even better than some of the people here.
I have.
But was it? Remind me, DM. Is it getting night? Like the sun is setting, right?
It's Sonic Cities, but it's just like really like it's springtime, so it's around 6 p.m. Right? It's not super
Right.
late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're in a
still-
canyon as well, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah. No, it's also just like desert. So like, Cephas would also recommend maybe not sleeping in the exposed area during the night. It is very cold and very windy. But is your choice. And with that, Cephas will just kind of give a little nod and of goodbye and climb back down the crow's nest.
as you turn around, she like asks you that. What? Never mind. Stupid.
Go ahead.
I don't know how all of you know each other.
There's a
I don't know
audible
what.
snort at that remark.
I don't know. I don't know what your whole deal is, and why that gnome is such a pain in the ass. And I don't know that, but if you guys hadn't been here, I don't know what would have happened to me or any of the others. So, if you want to do good, Cephas, I think you did pretty well today. Thanks.
Cephas appreciates the sentiment.
I think I'll go inside, where I won't freeze to death.
Cephas thinks this is a good idea. And he
And
will take his time to just climb down, yeah?
She likes. I don't know if you're climbing down with this 8-9-year-old female tabaxi. I don't know if that's doing anything for Cephas right now, as he has heard the news of his sister. But
It's a little pang, but a little bit of pain, but like not something he's outwardly showing. Kind of, as he's climbing down, he kind of realizes that's probably half the reason he even came up to talk to her, is because he was just reminiscing about family.
sure. On the way down, she goes past you, Theus, as you are waiting for Nongle to be done with the dead people. And she says, These are pretty good people, and for whatever it's worth, I just wanted to. Because I don't know what would have happened to me if you hadn't shown up. So
Hey Vega, don't talk like you're not a good person.
you don't know.
who's
Why don't-
Vega?
It's the finish your thing Noggle, but yes, Vegas is girl.
Noggle looks back and continues to speak Necrol to this thing.
She looks at you. I'm sure you'll have fun with that. And then she just says good night. And then she goes past you, Nungle, and she says, good night, Grandpa. And she goes to Bjorn, and she says, that was a pretty mean swing. Good night. And then she goes downstairs with the other kids. They go to sleep.
I'll teach you one day. If you like.
Well, as you can hear from within the ship as she goes in, then you'll have to convince Theus to not set me off on somewhere. I don't know where. She just goes away.
You're gonna learn to be your own master soon.
Good night. I'm going to bed. I'm leaving the scene. Farewell. All right. Theus.
I would
Sorry.
DM.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would like to help the DM a bit by asking Aust how interested his character is in international politics, because that might help him a bit on the history roll he made 11 minutes ago.
Aust is probably very interested in international politics, particularly stuff revolving not around the Imperium and perhaps against the Imperium.
Okay, then Aust might have a hunch that the magic crown is somehow involved in the politics in the north, and it might also has to do something with either an alliance or someone who would have liked to break the alliance between the actual two northern empires there are. As I'm sure most of you would know by the power level that we are in,
The power level.
there are actually two northern empires, while the one that Björn is from and Theus has traveled with him in is the mostly humanoid one. There is another one that is on the borders of Catonia, which is actually more inhabited by monsters and the like. And the two northern empires has an alliance, and that crown has something to do with that.
Cool. Good.
Interesting. Okay, that's nice.
And Rob, we actually talked about that. So, but
I know.
I can identify it if you want.
Nope, I'm fine.
I think I remember, but let's not give them everything. So, Noggle, you are done with speaking with the dead man, and I guess Theus, you have been waiting, or
Yes.
Here, hold this, and I give you his cheek.
I gently put it down.
This is the exact opposite of what I've requested.
Yes. Well, Theus, how can I help you?
We had a talk earlier, and I did notice that we had disagreements. Together with Cephis. And I had a feeling that you were nervous or didn't make much sense, especially because you said you're doing this for all of us. But what we are currently tackling is something that is affecting one of us, the family of one of us. So it is affecting us. And I'm not saying that we have to take on everything in our path, but if we see something in front of us, and it is especially affecting one of us, and we cannot ignore it, when the first time we talked, you still remember the question I asked you?
Yes.
If you liked yourself. Another question. How do you want to live your life?
What I want to live, of course.
And not asking how, if you want to live. I want to ask how you want to live your life.
Theus, it's a difficult question. Besides his spell book that's in his hand, general most of the times, he pulls off this large book off of his back and he opens it up. And inside, actually, make a perception check as he flips through the pages really quickly. So, as you see
14.
it, yeah, as he flips through the pages, you can see that a lot of it seems to be very, very horrible poetry, like the worst poetry that you've ever actually heard. And it's in what languages do you speak or read?
Originally,
Not much.
like your native language. But it's in the native language regardless.
It would flip through to like if you read more than one language, you see that the poetry flips. It's always in a language that you can understand, but it switches from one language to the next as the book. Make an Arcana check. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Go ahead and DM this scene. I don't care. I'll just.
I also just DM'd. Like I can't help it. I know the feeling.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I hope. I
Oh,
love
PvP
it.
is supposed to be DM, right? As per campaign rules, which I love.
That is
I think it's
correct.
great. So you can't quite understand exactly what's going on as the pages are being flipped, but he gets to eventually gets to a blank page and then flips the pages backwards, and they're all blank. You see, Theus, sometimes things aren't exactly what they appear.
You tell me.
I wish to. What do I wish with my life? Well, things that only the pillar can afford me. And I need those things. And I've been waiting for a long time, to keep things short, to meet a group of misfits such as yourselves that seem to be intertwined in things that the pillar would not accept. And with this, me at I hate to say it, but at the lead of this, I think that we can discover things that have not been meant to be discovered in this land for a very, very long time. However, if we are to go, as you said, and as I've said, save everyone that we meet along the way, we will fail. And these strange doings, this large copper worm that we fought, and this strange sword that Ost seems to carry, this aura around your bodyguard, Bjorn, that all these things would be put to waste. All of our talents, whatever brought us together, would be gone. I only wish to see that maybe we have the ability to change something of this world, make this world a better place, this entire world. Not just Rathajar, not just Staunchflow, not just Fida Hajar, everything.
Noggle, I don't think you still don't understand my question. You answered what you want with your life, or what do you want with all of life. I still ask you how you want to live your life. How I want to live my life is that if I see something in front of me that needs someone to reach a hand out, then I would rather reach out to it while I have the chance. I know that I can't save everyone in this world. I can only save what's in front of me. But if someone needs a hand to reach out, then I will take that hand. I will do my best with that life that I have
Theus, I think
to
the thing
do
that...
what I think is right. And if that is how I will end, then I'm fine with it. Because this is how I want to live my life. I'm not asking what I want in my life.
Theus, I agree with you, but your reach seems to be within your grasp, where my reach is beyond. And with a wider reach, we cover more ground, when you just want to grab what's closest to you. You speak of sacrifice, I believe, hidden inside your words with your clever tongue. Well, I wish to sacrifice for the entire land, not just for just the closest place to us. We must stay focused. We must see exactly where we're supposed to go, and understand that there are dangers that lurk if we do not. I only wish to open up the objection to us wandering off the path, because there is someone in need. If they have been suffering for time, maybe they can suffer for time more. We have great power with us. To throw that away is such a waste. To do not use the powers that the pillar grant us, to turn our backs on them is a waste.
Noggle, you said something before that I cannot save everyone, and that my wishes are too far-reaching. But you, who tries to go even further beyond the future, things that haven't even been happening yet, I see much more problems with that. We should focus on the here and now, and this is all we have because we are not promised tomorrow. We can do this. We can burn that bridge when we arrive there.
No, Theus. I don't do these things for my own accord, because I wish to reach out and help these people. I do. Trust me, I do. Did we not stop here with little disregard from myself? We did. And we stopped and we saved these people. And I wish to do this more. But we need to keep our eyes focused in one direction. And where we could be adventurers that go to place to help the weak, the meek, the starving. We could do that. Yes, but I speak of things that have not been seen, have not been heard of, hidden things amongst this entire world. Something that even though we suffer now, the entire world will change because of it. For the better. We have the choice to sacrifice others so we can stray forward and save many. If we save a few, that future will never come. We will be defeated, and constant torture will come amongst everyone in Cerenar. We have a choice and the ability with all of us to free Cerenar, to bring back something that's been lost for so long. I just don't want to give it up on a whim. To appease your self-pleasure, your honor, your code. It goes beyond that. We're meant for bigger, greater things. I hope you see that.
You talk like someone I know, and that someone is walking
very
down a dark
intelligent.
path. It's walking down a dark path. I have seen many who've talked like that, and let me tell you, their intentions, well, might be well-meaning, but the roads they walked were paths with dark things they did, with corpses. If you strive for such lofty goals, and sometimes you just lose sight of what's in front of you. I'm sorry, but you remind me too much currently of someone I don't really like, and I have the feeling that if we talked further, then I might do or say some hurtful things. Let's stop this for now. And
wise
we
words
both
from
can think about what we're currently looking at. And I'm not looking for ideals. I'm actually very realistic. I'm just looking out what I can do with the time I have on this world. And for you longer living races, as gnomes do, it might be easier. But let me tell you something. It's getting quite cold keeping on to these feelings. And I walk away.
And that is where we will end our session for today. But before we do that, Tanner and Leon, you can both note down a big fucking monster inspiration. That was impressive.
Well, thank you,
Oh,
sir.
man. Also, love you, Tanner, just so you know.
Oh no, dude! Like no, this
That
is
was beautiful.
this isn't PvP. This is CVC, right?
Yes,
so,
there we
character versus
go.
character for sure, 100%.
And we've had some crazy revelations today, as you have snatched victory against Captain Cathorian from the jaws of defeat, as you have found unlikely stragglers, as your mentor Saphis has joined your ranks and given you all worrisome information. You now have a stronger idea about what has happened in this world, where fate or destiny, or whatever you choose to make it, will get you. And I would like to thank all of you for watching. We still have a bunch of people, so thank you very much. It has been, I think, the most watched session so far, so very nice and very big love for all of you who have tuned in. I hope that you find these people as inspiring role players as I do. We have lots of information in the About section on Twitch. Go ahead and have a look at that if you like some of the music or some of the other things. We have YouTube called Epic Boon Productions. All of these episodes go up there. We also have some streams with Tanner and me playing Baldur's Gate, or Tanner playing Solaris?
Solasta.
Yeah, Solasta. There you go.
Crowd of the Megastar.
There you go. So you can watch that on YouTube. We also have a Reddit called Epic Boon, and all of the sites are down here. And of course, our number one fan and our best IT guy ever is Juno. Go ahead and check him out on Juno Gaming on the Twitch. He streams regularly and is a good guy and great fun to watch. So
Yeah, every Tuesday night, PST, I believe it's 8 p.m. He runs just whatever the fuck he wants to. He actually ran a game that scared the shit out of me when I was watching it on this Tuesday. So I think they were just as scared as I was, because they switched over to a different game afterwards. And then, of course, on Saturdays, he runs his main stream, which is his... what's the game called? I should know. I actually own this game when I watch the stream all the time. But
Star Citizen.
Thank you, Star Citizen. It's been a long time in the making, but it's definitely,
It will never be finished. Never.
it'll never be finished. But Udo's put a lot of time into it, and he has a group of people that he plays with that have sunk like insane amounts of money into this game, buying ships or whatever. It's highly entertaining to watch. So please join me on that stream, please.
In other news, we have we're going to start our next session with a small discussion. So if you have any ideas about what you want to know about the characters, go ahead and write that to the email or on the Reddit page that we have below. And if we get any submissions, we'll have a look at them. Or I'll just find out something, and in the start of the next session, we will briefly discuss something about each characters, be that their favorite kind of pants or what kind of colors they like the most. We will find all that out. So please
also,
engage with us. Yeah, Dion.
No. Finish first. I just want to say that something at the end. You can do this after then.
So please engage with us. Write if you have good ideas. Write in the chat, in the thing. Go ahead on our Reddit and do that, or send us an email. That would be much appreciated. Thank you everybody for watching. And closing remarks go to Leon.
No, we can do this after the cameras. This is something that we can.
Okay, this is
Stop the camera, stop the camera. Oh no! Close the camera.
so.
Stop the cameras. We do it live.
All right.
Thank you all for watching. And I don't know what's happening now, but I might get. I don't know. See you guys.
All right, guys.
Goodbye.
Yeah.